Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today we have to talk about Nvidia split. That's right, 10-1. It happened on Friday, but today the numbers are in. It split at around $121 today when it opened up. And as I said at the title of the video, did you buy when it dipped to 117, or did you buy at the close at 121? We're going to talk about this and a whole lot more. And of course, we always talk about more assets to buy. And welcome. SSN Lifestyle Gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, please share the videos because you never know who you're going to be able to help. You never know if there's somebody not looking for information and then they run across it and it can help them. So once again, smash the like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you like what we're talking about during the live stream, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. That would be greatly appreciated. Now, let's see who's in the house tonight. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late for the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Let's see. We have Jawway J. He's here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, which I greatly appreciate. And he says his tagline tonight. Hello, SSN Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. I received notifications, saw the trailer, and he also smashed that like button. Thank you so much for that. And in case you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, Jawway J is another investor himself in real estate for sure. And he may be doing some other things, but he's here in the house. So I greatly appreciate it. And you guys know how I feel about that icon. Victor Marrero, soon to be retiree, is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, which I greatly appreciate. And he says his tagline, hello all, let's do this. And we try to get people in the direction because there is a money crunch going on. Cash flow problems around the world. 70% of people living paycheck to paycheck. 78% during the month lives paycheck to paycheck. So you know it's getting dire out here and money may be drying up. So assets are more important if you have disposable income. Now, Victor Marrero is about to be on his worldwide tour in about T-minus 45 days or less. So this will be awesome as well. So get your pen, pads, and papers ready, ladies and gentlemen, because we're starting to talk about Nvidia today. The hottest thing on the market, Nvidia. And it's a shocker because on Friday, we talked about on the SSN Nation Friday night live stream, we talked about where the stock was around $120 and around 70 cents. So 120 after it splits 10-1 and 70 cents kind of makes sense. But the deal of the day so far, who was paying attention around, it looks like it was around 10 a.m. in the morning, a little bit before 10 a.m. That means almost like when the markets opened. And then at 10 a.m., who took advantage of $117? Who took advantage of $117.60 to get yourself $4 return? By the end of the day, 3.75% or more. but I don't think anybody's going to be selling at 4.29% for the day, but you never know. Some people like that little pip here, little tick there, and that means a lot of money if you're doing day trading. So here we are in the SSN Nation. And what did we talk about on Friday in case you missed it? We didn't know if it was going to go up or go down on the first day. Well, the answer is now here. There was a dip that people could have bought at 117, but is that going to be the best deal for the week? We will see when we come back on Wednesday night, or wait, Wednesday night. Well, Wednesday night, I will be late. We're going to have to, I don't know what I'm going to have to do, quite frankly, because I won't be available Wednesday evening to do the live stream. But you guys know how it works. We will make do. Maybe we have to do a late night Wednesday edition. I know middle of the week, hump day, but it's going to have to be a late night edition because I will not be able to be anywhere near live streaming between 7 and 10:30 at night. So unfortunately, we're going to find out if my prediction comes true. Like I always say, not all stocks, but traditionally 48 to 72 hours. If you think 117 was low and you missed out on a deal, what happens if it dropped below 117? Or what happens if it drops below 121.79? Or what happens if it's now 125 or 127? All of that is on the table because the market is based on market activity and what people want to buy. And there are companies that decided to buy in, and that makes it very interesting. Bingo, that's how I got it at 117. There we go. You got to feel good when you have that price point, I will have to say. But we're going to find out over the next 48 hours or 72 hours. We're going to find out if it's going to go below 117 because all the excitement for the previous week, people were buying, hitting all-time record highs. And then today it splits 10 to 1, which allowed a lot more people to buy at a lower price. But did it really allow a lot more people to buy? I don't know. I haven't looked at the amount of purchases or buying or any of the traffic for the day. So I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there was a lot of people buying. But keep in mind, we know the numbers. We know 7 out of 10 people don't have disposable income. We know this, right? So they can't buy. So who can buy? Well, let's get into that shortly, shall we? Because we know who can buy. Like, I'm going to actually put this in. I'm going to put this in. Let's see what a bank, which is weird, right? Look at this. Everybody's putting it in. Wells Fargo. Who is the largest investor? Interesting. I don't know who it is, but we're going to find out right here. Largest shareholders. Oh, my. Vanguard, BlackRock, JP Morgan, and Vanguard again, and Vanguard again. This is crazy. Here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest shareholders are some of the names you know, you give money to. The Vanguard Group, BlackRock, these ETFs, these hedge funds you're giving money to. Everybody's heard of Vanguard Total Market Stock Index, VOO, right? Vanguard 500 Index Fund, Dodge, DODGX. This is crazy. How much? And so I'm going to go down this list because Nvidia has a Zacks rank number 1 strong buy, a solid growth score of A, and a momentum score of B. He's got it exactly right. The Zacks stock, number 1 rated stock. Again, do you guys not remember? I know some of you weren't around 3 years ago, but we were talking about AMD, Nvidia, all of this 3 years ago when they were under $100 back in the day. And now 300, 400, 500, 1,000, 2,000% return is outrageous. So Wells Fargo says Nvidia so much more than GPUs. That's what's going down. All right. This is what's happening. They're giving it a target rate of $150. Actually, it was $1,500 for their stock market target. And so most people believe it'll go up to $150. It'll make it nice and simple. So let me know what you guys are thinking here. And look who else we have in the house tonight. Marlon Jordan is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to your name, which I greatly appreciate. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, SSN family. I bought 50 shares at 120. Congratulations. A great buy. I have to admit, anybody getting in, I think this is a bargain. I just got to say what it is. I'm not a stock guru. I'm just saying it's common sense. Did you not see? Let me put this back up on the screen. Let me put some of this back up on the screen. Here it is. Wells Fargo lifts Nvidia shares target. Okay, it went to 1150. Then the new target is 1500. So look, here it is, raises 970 from 840. So 608 to 1400. Then it went to 1500. So the question is, where is it gonna go? Is it gonna go up to 150? Is it gonna go up to 300? Everybody pretty much has an idea. And why do they have an idea? Because of this right here from 8 days ago. Wells Fargo says Nvidia is so much more than GPUs. That's the whole kicker right here. You have to understand it's more than artificial intelligence. They sell hardware, software, and an idea from their software is AI. And since they have the fastest chips at this moment, everybody's going to them. And the everybody's have billions of dollars to spend. So if you want to catch up into the artificial intelligence market pretty fast, and you want to make an investment into the chips, then you would be out here buying, like the company of Amazon, like a company of Apple, like all these big time companies. So therefore they have products that are selling, gonna sell off the shelves for years to come. So it's up to you, ladies and gentlemen, to do your own research and study. Curtis Davis is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he's also known here as Mr. Financial. He says his tagline, good evening, SSN family. He brings the other part, A, B, M, always be making money. That's what you have to remember. Try to always be making money. And where else do you get information besides the SSN Nation? Well, Mr. Financial has his own YouTube channel known as Chili Davis, Chilly Davis. Go over there and show some love, please. Part of the SSN Nation, he helps people, no cost, no money, no guru zone, no course, nothing. He just drops updates and information throughout the day. You just never know when he's going to drop this information that can come in handy for you to make investments. We're not out here saying, tens of thousands of dollars, just a little bit. Just like Marlon here says, I bought 50 shares. Well, some people would say, Eric, 50 shares was still like over 5 G's. I understand. But all I'm saying is you can buy, how about 1 share, 3 shares, 2 shares? It doesn't have to be 50, 100, 200 shares. You got to get in where you fit in, so to speak. And if you don't have a brokerage account, it's very simple. I'm sure most of you have heard of Robinhood and Webull. I'm not even going to tell you to go anywhere else. Just download Robinhood and Webull if you haven't already. And that way you get a free share of stock from Robinhood at least. And if you put in like $1, load $1 into Webull, then you'll get whatever promotion they're going to have. 5, 10, 15 fractional shares, 5 shares. They have all kind of promotions. So please use the links down below in the description box. That way you get your free shares of stock. And then go over and check out Chili Davis, Chilly Davis. And make sure you subscribe to his channel and click the all notification bell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet because this Nvidia situation is very interesting with the next boom. Artificial intelligence is the next boom. You might as well just grasp you might as well just hold on because it's going that way, because we will not need you. And I don't mean we. What I'm trying to say is, because if you invest in artificial intelligence like the Nvidia, the AMDs, the other companies that are going to come out with chips to compete or GPUs to compete, then that means you're going to have to give up a lot more freedom and a lot more jobs. That's the way I see it, because artificial intelligence is going to be able to take over. Hello, how can I help you? Call centers are going to be reduced. All right. Those things that came out in the last 20, 30 years, they're going to shrink, go bye-bye. All right. There's already companies using it like PayPal. Some of the banks, they already use a portion of AI in itself. So again, it's already started. So all these jobs that people were like typing, answering phones, communicating with customers, AI can learn. And that is where things are going to change in this next revolution. So how can you use it for your best interest if you're going to be a business or if you're going to be an investor? It's easier to be an investor than it is to try and start up a business and compete, because it's going to cost you a lot of money right now. All right. So where else can we go? Well, we're going to make this simple. Today was a red day, which is very interesting. And you know why it was a red day? Could it have something to do with, here it is right here, stock futures slip as investors gear up for start of Fed policy meeting. And the fact that it's red, this would indicate that the news that everybody thought was going to happen in June, well, we might have to wait till July. But the point is, no rate decrease. That is the deal. That would indicate why it's a red aftermarket, because they're thinking the feds have already signaled no rate increases coming. Now, didn't we talk about this before? You guys here in the SSN Nation, you're privy to the information that other people don't talk about. We talk about it here. What did I tell you? They are going to keep holding off on doing the right thing. Here's what the right thing should have been over the last 7-8 months. They should have increased the interest rate, but they won't do it because 5 to 5.5% is where their buddies is like, that's the cutoff line for their friends. And what do I mean by friends? The wealthy crowd. They borrowed money. They have adjustable loans. When it starts getting into 6.5s, that triggers, how many of you people know cap rates? Go look at businesses and look up cap rates, and people buy businesses with 3 cap rate, 4 cap rates, 5 cap rates. I always say I don't even like that terminology, because I'm saying 3%, 4%, 5% return on your money. If inflation or your borrowing is above those numbers, or you have adjustable rate loans, you are screwed. And now you have to do a lot of things to get out of it. And so this is why I'm saying, remember, everything is pretty much leveraged here in America and around the world. So anytime you start getting over 5%, that's where it's danger zone. This is why they would rather not do anything for a year. So then it appears, what I was reading earlier today, I wish I could find it, but I don't have it up, where they started talking about inflation year over year is 2.8%. I told you that's what they were going to try and pull. They're doing nothing just so they can actually say, because they think they raised it high enough. So once they raised it high enough, they figured they didn't have to do anything, except there's one little problem. People are still buying stocks. There's still new jobs coming out. It's not working, and it's never going to work because it's BS what they're doing. They should have increased the interest rate. It should be at least 1 point higher. So then there would have been a serious situation with inflation. That would have been a serious situation for people getting their adjustable loans. They would have had to actually figure out a way to sell off, to sell off their asset, or or file bankruptcy because they can't pay. Because nobody else is going to want to get a 6% loan or a 6.5% loan to buy out that company, which has been going on for the last 30 years. Instead of companies failing, they've been able to have people buy them out because they can get cheap money. So this would have changed the whole landscape for capitalism. This would have also helped slow down the upper middle class wipeout that's going to be coming. So they're setting everything up. But all I'm going to say is you guys got to be prepared. All right? You're going to have to be prepared. Nvidia 117. I saw this but didn't pull trigger, waiting. Curtis Davis trying to wait for the 48 to 72 hours to see what's going to happen. That's going to be interesting on Wednesday. And, well, we'll talk about it on Friday. See if the prediction came true. Are we going to drop under 117? Or are we going to, or was that the number? And from now on, it's going to rise up a little bit. I think, again, Nvidia is going to be the skyrocket stock it's been for the last 3 to 5 years. I don't see how it's going to stop because all companies have to get in the game. So you understand this is time sensitive, right? If you're an investor, you have to appreciate time sensitive. If you think that you're going to be able to be one of the bigger companies around the world and you're trying to get market share, are you seriously going to sit on the sideline and let the likes of Walmart, Apple, Samsung's, I mean, all the biggest corporations, and that includes Vanguard and BlackRock, all these guys, you think you're going to sit by and beat them? This is almost like when Facebook came out, when all the social media platforms started coming out. Remember, there was a whole whirlwind of social media platforms. In fact, there was one, MySpace, that seemingly could do no wrong. It's incredible. But here's the real story. This is Blockbuster in the 1990s when Netflix was saying, we're going to stream. And everybody was like, we can't stream. You don't have enough software, hardware power. We don't have enough. We don't have enough RAM. You don't have enough memory. How are you going to be able to stream? Yeah, nobody will ever do that. Well, see, here's the thing that people didn't know. The streaming was already happening, except it was in the porn industry. So it was really offline, but there was streaming going on for 5 to 10 years. So it was already happening in the back rooms. People thought it was just, so what I'm trying to tell you right now is the same thing that's happened now. AI has been around not just in the last 2-3 years. It's been around for 5, 6, 7 years. Except, that voice you heard on the line, it was weird, right? You could tell it was a robot or computerized voice. You could tell things were computer generated, CGI and all that. Well, that was the beginning. That's already 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. The next level is the Nvidia. The next level means these other companies now have to buy millions of dollars in order to stay level, not to get ahead, just to stay level without falling behind. It's the same thing. So that's why there should be a bull market for chips. And like we said 3-4 years ago, it's inevitable because you need chips for everything. And these chips are going to actually transform into, you guessed it, your vehicle is going to tell you, danger ahead, we're stopping. I mean, this is going to get crazy. Your computers will finally do the right thing and start talking back, just like Siri talks. Right? Same thing, except now your full-blown computer will be talking like we're talking now. We could say, hey, computer. That's going to be funny because if I have one, I'm going to tell my computer, I'm going to call it computer. Computer, what do you think about this Nvidia stock? And then GPT and AI is going to give us a whole dissertation on, hey, why you should be buying this, what the analysts say they'll just run it down for you, just kind of like ChatGPT, but you can see what's going to happen here. So a lot of people are going to be out of jobs because they're going to be able to pull up facts. So you're not going to have somebody on CNBC who's shorting the stock to be able to come and give you some BS stuff. So then the stock can go down knowing full well they're shorting it. So all they needed to do is go down $1, $2, $3, $5. And then you'll know, oh, this is all BS. You'll know the real stories. So they won't be able to manipulate the markets like they used to be able to. Because then you're just going to say, hey, computer, what's the debt for XYZ company? Hey, computer, what's their earnings ratio, earnings to income ratio? You're going to be able to just ask it, and it's going to, you can almost do that now. But all I'm trying to say is this is going to start getting ridiculous because they're going to add in some of the other things that most people wouldn't ask for. Because then they're just going to say, well, the top 50 analysts says this is going to be kind of information, right? So it's going to be all good from an investor standpoint. But the question is, will you have the money to invest after the upper middle class wipeout? Because you're not going to be Vanguard. You're not going to be BlackRock. The individual person, how much of this are you going to be able to utilize? All right. That's what I want to know. Let's see. We got a lot of people talking. Business news today. We're projecting that Nvidia is projected to potentially be a 10 trillion market cap company by year 2030. Doing DCA up or down? Exactly. Exactly. This is what we're talking about here today, ladies and gentlemen. You want to be rich? This is the 2000, actually, this is the 1996, 97 .com boom. This is where we're at. Now, there will be a bust, but will there be? This is a different era because we know where this is going. We know this is going to be chips in cars. You know there's going to be chips in every moving thing for artificial intelligence. You know this because calculations are faster than your brain waves. So therefore, why are you going to employ somebody when everything can be fully automated? So you're going to have to figure out where's your job going to be. You're going to be a chip maker. I mean, seriously, what are you going to do? It's going to be very bad in that regard. That's why you're going to have to put your money into something that's going to give you a return. I agree with this business news today. Nvidia right now is so far ahead, and everybody, Elon Musk bought in. All kind of people are going to be buying their chips because AI is just going to be ridiculous, absolutely insane. Talk about this is like Standard Oil, Rockefellers, when they hooked up the pipelines and he got all these deals done and he took over. That's what this is like. It's like the Industrial Revolution all over again. Henry Ford, right? We go from buggies and horses to cars, electric, steam, gas, but no horses. So now that takes out people that has to do manures. That takes out the blacksmith. That takes out a whole industry. But by taking out that whole industry, another industrial revolution came for what? About 50, 60, 70 years. Cars now are way too expensive. Innovation, what's that? It's crazy. So it ran its timeline. Because remember, in every company, you have the up, then you have a plateau, and then after you matured, you come down because your competition can now catch you because you reached the ceiling, so to speak, and people are trying to, eat your lunch anyhow. So you have to remember that from a business standpoint. So Nvidia is on their upside right now, just like Apple, just like Microsoft, just like Facebook. They were all like this. And then because this is a new era, Nvidia has a market cap like what they're saying here is 10 trillion, right? They're going to be able to do what Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, and every other company of that size is. They're going to be able to buy up any new innovators. Anybody else that could eat their lunch, they're going to offer them, hey, how about 50 billion, even though the company might not even be worth anything. But if they can recognize the competitive nature of whatever some of their competition is, they'll just buy them out. Which, back to my original story, this is the story of Blockbuster. Blockbuster thought they had stores everywhere. People will come in and keep getting these VHS and CDs and things like that. Nobody's going to do this streaming. It's not possible. Well, seemingly, it took like 4, 5, 6 years, but it seemed like overnight, because Blockbuster is what, one left, I think, only by default, but nonetheless, they're out of business essentially in less than 10 years when they could have bought Netflix. The Netflix guys went to them and said, hey, man, we'll take like 750 mil. They were like, hell no, man, you guys are worthless. That stuff won't work. You can't stream. Who's going to actually send CDs to you guys, wait 3 or 4 days, and then have it back? Well, that was a serious miscalculation. Blockbuster out of business. Netflix worth billions of dollars and on the rise because now they figured out, hey, I need a movie studio. We better make our own studios, make our own content, because what we're doing is they're using everybody else's content. That was good at the beginning, but as time went on, they started losing subscribers. Why would you keep doing that when other outlets are available to you? So they said, hold on, we got to have our own movies. We got to have our own stuff. And that's what they did. And now that spawned the next industry where, what do you have? Amazon Prime with video. They have their own studio, which is MGM, I believe. And so this is how it spawns off. And the same thing's going to happen with this Nvidia situation. You have to think about it. How many people get left on the sidelines? You don't have to be left on the sidelines. You can already see where this is going. You have a short history span. 2000 to 2024, you have seen everything. You have no excuse not to recognize opportunity at this point. Even if you're 15 years old, you're going to recognize opportunity, because there are things such as gaming and programming, and still mining is a little thing too. So people know what chips are the best chips. You need speed, you need accuracy. That's what you need. And some hardware that doesn't just shut down. Dependability matters. Nvidia delivers on all fronts. So this is where it's going. I agree with this assessment by Business News, 120%. It can't be stopped. And here's the other thing. It's going to be worldwide. Look, again, you guys have to think about this. If you're going to sit on the sidelines on Nvidia, AMD, TSMC, I don't even know how you could do that over the next 2, 3, 4 years. When this right here, it already had a boom, but there's going to be another boom. Think about all the countries that do not have internet still. There are still like 5 billion people on the planet that does not have internet. That's pretty wild, right? That also means they don't have use for any of this software right now or hardware. But let's see what happens in 5 years. What happens all of a sudden if 1 billion more people, and what happens if another 100 companies, 50 companies come on board that need this stuff for the emerging markets? Emerging markets is a thing. So do you not understand there will be a bull run on emerging markets? There will be a bull run all over the planet. So just keep up, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you have to put your money into this. Victor Morero says at Curtis Davis, a lot of investors are waiting a couple of days before pulling the trigger. My cost basis for Nvidia is 114 because I buy a little every day. DCA up, DCA down. But he did win when it did the 10-to-1 split, because now he had a ride up. The 10-to-1 split, if it rides up, which I just can't see how it wouldn't, but this is how it's going to go. Bought some Apple today. I'm waiting on Nvidia to cool off. Okay, Apple is a little down, what people would say. But Apple said, we're buying Nvidia. Everybody's getting Nvidia. They have to get the chips. They have to get the GPU. They have to get in. Whether you catch up later is fine, but you might as well ride their wave. let me put it to you another way. Does it really matter if you're going to invest, let's just say, $50 million and try to do it yourself when you could have invested $10 million in Nvidia like 2 years ago? And now that would be worth 10 to 20 times as much. And you didn't have to do anything other than invest. That's what we're talking about here. These guys, and Apple's a good company. Apple's not a phone company, just a phone company. All right. You guys have to understand. Now, at Victor says, Curtis Davis, my average cost basis of Nvidia last year was 208. After the split, I owned 71 to 72 shares. Hey, that's what we're talking about. It's all good. Victor Morrell, you're in the game, Mr. Financial, of course. At Curtis Davis, great. Buy a cup of coffee worth of Nvidia daily and you'll get the cost basis down. I saw the AI ad from Apple today. I think Apple is about to explode. Don't count them out yet. Victor Morrell, that's what I'm trying to say. Apple is not an iPhone company. I mean, they make the iPhone, yes. They are dangerous. Do you guys not understand? I just gave you examples. These guys are out here buying up their competitors and using the competitors' technology that they don't hold. That's been going on. That is why things haven't sped up as fast as normal in technology, because they are stymieing the competition. Because you can't blame anybody who says, I'm a startup. Like right now, if you're going to be a startup business, you can't blame anybody. You did a startup and you've been slaving away for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You have something going, and then all of a sudden somebody comes to you and says, hey, we'll give you $5 billion. All of you are millionaires or billionaires. That's hard to pass up because that is life-changing money for you and your family. So you're probably going to take it. You're going to say, yeah, I'll take the 10 billion. Because that gives everybody life-changing money that's involved. So but that stops the innovation factor. It slows it down. That's basically what's happened for the last 15 years. It slowed down because you're able to buy the competition, because you have these value stocks, the Apples, the Microsofts, the Teslas, you name it. There's so many companies, the Vanguard, BlackRocks, they're involved in all of this. And that is what has stymied competition and innovation. So once again, there's not going to be any difference. Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, they came along in an era where technology reigns. So therefore, they're able to buy up all new technology and even take L's. Amazon as well. How many of you remember Facebook doing some dumb stuff, like Libra and all this crazy, but look where they're at now, because they were able to keep buying pieces of these innovative companies, buying Instagram. So then they utilize that to do something. I mean, all these companies have so much money at cap rate that they can borrow and offshore. They don't have to bring money onto the USA shore. Because remember, USA is only a part of the world, a small portion. There's only 350 million people in America, roughly. There's still over 8 billion people on the planet. So just because you can't sell in the United States does not, you got still like 8 billion customers around the world. So that's the advantage of being a worldwide company with revenues of their nature. All right. So just keep that in mind. I don't want to keep going. We have a lot of people that invest. They understand this. All right. Brian P., Mr. Dividend is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, which I greatly appreciate. And he says, hello, Eric. I hope all is well with you. Yes, it's going. And hello, SSN family. Smash that like button. I love it. Everybody, smash that like button. If you like what I'm talking about tonight, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. Please come and join us on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights. That'd be greatly appreciated. And Brian P. also says we are making money in here. Exactly, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we do it. This AI train has just started. Nvidia, AMD, Arista, ARM, SoundHound. Nvidia is special because it's software and hardware. Exactly. This is why they've been under the radar for freaking 15 years in reality. Same with AMD. AMD is so maddening to me because at one time they were actually like leaders with the chips, but then they did what everybody else did. They said, we're just going to make these little BS. Well, they're not BS, but gaming and compute. We'll put our stuff in some special computers, but they didn't really advance far ahead of everybody. And so they should have tried to advance instead of just playing this easy soft game. But hey, they win by default because they're next in line almost. So if Nvidia goes up, AMD is going up. Not at the same rate. It's kind of like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin's going to have them probably the better return, but Ethereum is also going to have a great return as well. So you can't go wrong with either one. Buy both is what it's like. And there you go. He just dropped some gems. Arista, ARM, SoundHound. SoundHound I thought was bought out, but we'll talk about that on another day. Curtis Davis, Apple behind 8-ball. The next phone going to integrate ChatGPT, Siri. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They are humanized the AI tech for the non-geek crowd. Exactly. You can already see what's going to happen. These phones right here, you guys can already see what's going to happen. It's already kind of happening. But this stuff is getting crazy. I have a Siri. I don't have a Siri, though. But I'm just saying, you have a Siri right here. You guys know if you lay your phone down and just start talking about Nvidia, you can cut your phone back on, and all of a sudden some ads will start popping up for Nvidia. So the phone has already been listening to you. They already check your heart rate somehow and do your steps and all this other stuff, right? You know how close you are. Siri's already here. All they have to do is fully implement AI. You're not going to know if you're talking to a person or a machine. They're already that close. All right. Oscar at InstaVid is that close to where you got images moving. You guys have seen this AI stuff. YouTube has put in their back office that when you load a video, you have to say, yes, there's some AI in it. Because in about a year, you will not be able to tell AI versus individuals, especially when they get the voices going. It's going to be outrageous. And people are going to be able to use that and expand upon it. But that's where this is all going. And how many companies are going to be involved? Quite a few. Because this is going to lend to startups all over the place to be able to do something special. So again, I expect the phones. It's almost like, what's a phone going to really be? I mean, seriously, it's almost kind of like I'm waiting for some sort of earpiece or something that you really don't even have to do anything. I'm thinking it's going to be something in your ear where you're just going to speak, and the phone is just going to be some little thing, and you'll be wearing a watch or something. I mean, that's the way I see this going. I don't even see why you're going to be carrying these things around with the AI. I just think it'll just be like something will buzz in your ear, phone call. What's happening? That's what I think is going to happen. I just, it's already happening, but I think it's just going to go to a whole nother level because things are going to process so fast that there's no reason to be carrying around I don't know how much these weigh, but there's not going to be a reason. And I would not be shocked with the, remember the Google glasses and all that, which hasn't, been a real thing, but that's the way I'm seeing this all play to that type of thing where your screen is going to be here, kind of thing. And you're just going to talk and get information that you can just ask for, like you're on your computer. Hey, what's happening with the stock market today? What happened with Nvidia today? What was the high? What was the low? You just be talking and then it'll just tell you. And you could be anywhere. Because you guys know they got satellites up there, right? They're up there for reasons. Somebody owns those satellites. They're going to implement those. It's going to be off the charts. Though. What's going to happen over the next 5 years is going to be crazy. Mo Better is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that I don't see the icon next to his name. I already put it in. But nonetheless, make sure if you'd like to become a member of the channel, ladies and gentlemen, please do so. Now, what's up, SSN family? What's up, E? DRCR had a nice day today, 30% today. Yes, this is something. Now, he mentions a stock that's on the over-the-counter market. Now, in fact, it's like pennies. I believe it went up to 16 cents. Now, I haven't really researched DRCR, but because Mo is here and we're talking about stocks, we got to go look, right? DRCR stock, I'm not really familiar because it just trips me out. Oh my, it's up to 22 cents. Forget the 16 this morning. This was a boom all of a sudden, a 300%. What is that? Hold on a second. It was at 18, went up to, what the? Okay, I don't know what's happening here. This says 22 point. I don't know what's going on. It's at 22 cents is all I know. This is crazy. 29.41% today. Wow. Okay. Wow. There was some news that came out. Here it is. Let me see if they have the news on here. Mo told me about it. He's been talking about this stock for like a month and a half to 2 months, and 20, 30, 40%, 50% has increased. Now, this is something that people are going to have to go study. Even now, look, it's not like I'm an expert on stocks, but I have not studied this. It's Swifty Global announces impressive financial results for Q1. 29.41. Man who picked it. Okay, never mind. Swifty Global, that's the name of the company, announces record annual results of National Exchange reverse merger. Okay, hold on. That's 2 months ago. So they did a reverse merger? That's interesting. So Swifty secures GLI. I don't really know what they do. That's the thing. Let's go see here. Let's go check them out, because this is pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar is an opportunity, another interesting opportunity. I believe they're into gaming. So you're going to have to go study Swifty Global. I don't see anything press releases are interesting, but you know, Swifty Global. 2 months ago, April 9th, record annual results, buying Nvidia. Okay. Swifty Global performance 4 months ago. So again, Swifty Global is DRCR. You're going to go have to check it out, ladies and gentlemen, because this is jumping. This is starting to jump, and they're in some sort of gaming. Mo might be able to get people up to speed, because I, again, have not studied it, but this is why you invest, you study. You go find out, is this a potential situation? Look at this. Year to date, 285%. 1 year, 95, but 3 years, negative 85. So they must be doing something. They must be doing something in the last year to 2 years, because this is pretty crazy numbers at 285 year to date. That's pretty good. And we're talking pennies right now. So if this thing does do something crazy, $1, $2, $3, that would be a special scenario. But what does it actually do? We don't know. There's some sort of gaming, some sort of licenses. So we're going to find out. Smash the like button on the way. It's let's get this money. I like it. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Like Mo says, another investor is Mo is in the house. Curtis Davis. The cars are already recording your voice and data. The GPU chips and other tech needs to be 12 times to keep up with processing speed of voice and data processing. Exactly. And that's where we're going. And see, they're going to speed it up again, because this is going to be a revolution that I don't think they're going to want to slow down, because this is the next thing. They slowed down everything else for the last 15 years. Now they have something that has a reason to blow up. Because again, who wants automated taxis, automated cars, automated computers? Now they have a reason, because that's billions of products. That means you guys already know what's happening. Some of you have the home systems where you can be on the road anywhere and have your app on the phone and just tap, cut on and off lights, cut on and off the hot water. I'll be home in 5 minutes. But instead of you actually having to tap something, you'll be able to say, hey, I'm going to be home in 5 minutes. Cut on the shower in about 5 minutes, right? You're going to be able to do things like that. I'm going to be home in 5 minutes. Do whatever, 15 minutes or 20 minutes. You're going to be able to tell things to do something. It's going to be wild, right? And so that's where we're heading. And the other part is what's going to happen when you have a robot doing some of your bidding, right? While you're gone, when you're not home, or whatever you're out doing, and you have some things like, hey, go water the garden or whatever. This is where this is going to head in a swift position over the next 20 years. It's going to be wild. So just keep that in mind, because he's already saying they're already tracking you. It's just a matter when they get the speed right, they can already do the voice manipulation. Now it's just a matter of they get the speed right, like Mr. Financial is just talking about. It's going to be crazy. Eric, the geek's dreams are coming true. The speed not there, but it's coming in 5 years or so years. Actually, I don't even think it's going to be 5 years. I really think it's going to be in the next 2 to 3 years. Watch when we have Oscar on and we start showing you some of the updates for InstaVid AI. This is what InstaVid AI is doing. In case you missed it, they've already used images to act like they're talking. People are already doing it on social media where you have like these AI images talking. It's already happening. It's just not happening where we can do like a full-length feature film, which, it could be costly right now, but this is where this is heading. So once they get the speed up right, because they got the RAM, they got the memories and everything right, and they got the whatever else they need, then it's going to be in houses. It's going to be everywhere. You're not going to be able to escape. Come on. You're going to have you're going to have a new home, and it's going to be called a smart home. They already have smart homes, except you generally tell something to do something, or you have to push buttons, or you have to go on your app, but it's going to be a simple thing. It's going to recognize your voice, and you're going to say, I'm going to be home. Start doing something. This is what's going to happen. You're not going to have to hit your garage door opener. You're not going to have to even unlock your doors. This is ridiculous. Watch what's going to happen. It's going to be crazy. You're going to have your bio scan systems going down so they know it's you. Eyes. Come on. This is where this is going. It just takes up too much memory right now. But give it about 1 year, 2 years from now. They've been working on it for a while, but give it about, I think, 2 years, then things are going to start getting really silly. It's going to be scary too, because that means the machines can take over. All right. Anyhow, Curtis Davis, Apple has a buyback plan on shares, but while it's worth $3 trillion, they may buy GPU chips from Nvidia as shares or other AI's tech strategy. You got that right? Look, it's already out, I think. Yeah, it's already out. Let's see here. Let's go look. Oh, I see. I got some color changes going down. Hold on. Yeah, we got color changes. All right, let's see. Has Nvidia pet? No. That's heavily. They're gonna. Nvidia surpass Apple to become the second most. Okay. Why isn't Apple? They're not competing because they're buying. Yeah, this right here, the hacker news is right. Nvidia. Okay, stop with this. I said Apple buying Nvidia. Come on now, let's go. Nvidia will begin trading in the lower. Okay, that's not what we're looking for. Nobody's talking about it. They're just talking about their market cap. Has there been any in Apple has bought Nvidia? I thought it was interesting that after many years of not. Right, they have no choice. So they are going to buy, ladies and gentlemen, if they haven't already. Apple is reported building its own AI server chip. Okay, fine. They can do whatever they want. New Apple M4 chip threatens to dethrone Nvidia. Of course. Oh, here we go. So, okay. So once again, if Apple does not buy Nvidia and they do this M4 thing, the revolution is on, right? You guys already know this. You don't have to just do Nvidia. Now Apple, if Apple comes out with something, then they boost themselves up. You have opportunities everywhere. This is what I was saying at the beginning. It's not just going to be Nvidia. You got to figure out your targets. Apple is a target. You guys already know. Apple's way more than the cell phones. Come on. These guys are big time. They have all the technology in-house. They're just sleeping giants is what I call them, but they're not really sleeping when they're the freaking second or third highest market cap in the world company. I mean, that's not really sleeping. But somehow people think Apple's not a worthy stock. When did that happen? You should be thinking of Apple every day. Apple has a buyback plan on shares. Yeah, exactly. This is crazy. Eric, I sent you a WhatsApp with an article on Swifty Global News that dropped today. Okay, I'll check it out. All right, Curtis Davis, the AI giant agent culture. It's not plain search of data. The AI will complete any mental task, menial task, like book my trip, dental appointments, the reminder going to take us to our itinerary. Exactly. And we don't have to look at our computer. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Just like Siri right now. It'll be Siri on steroids, except everything will be like, just say it. Hey, I got to go down and go look at some property tomorrow. How far is it from where I'm at? When should I go? I mean, it's going to make your life a lot easier. You know, and by the way, tell the car to come be in the front at 5:10 a.m. in the morning because I got a 3-hour trip. This is where this is all going, man. All going. And then you won't even have a driver. You'll be sitting in the back seat sleeping or reading or doing whatever you want to do on the trip. This is where this is all going, I believe. Well, it's going that way. The AI will help you with your travel plans. The Fiji and the customer just get the report at end of the week. Exactly. This is why you want to be one of the richest people on the planet. This is one of those things, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you have to get in on this boom, because you're going to be able to take advantage and actually have business where you're not even going to be there. This is how sweet this is going to be. This is going to be special. All right. So you have an opportunity right now. And Nvidia split today. Did you buy at 117? Who bought at 117 at 10 a.m. this morning? Nobody? Well, we have a few people here in the SSN Nation that did. Marlon did. I think it was Marlon. Dickey did. So here are more assets to buy, ladies and gentlemen. You heard the Apple. Apple's trying to compete. Why? I still think they're going to be buying some Nvidia stuff too. But if they're going to go on the end to compete, that's good. That means we'll have Apple in the fray because they said they're making their own chips anyhow. Then you have AMD, TSMC, TSC, all these other chip companies, and the super chips that are coming out by the United States government, for instance. And actually, there's one in EU, a company in the EU that can compete as well. But now you're going to have at least 10 to 15 companies trying to go for the throne. Because as you know, once you are the standard, then you get most of the business. Nvidia is the standard right now. But if Apple all of a sudden came out with something that performs better than Nvidia in the early market like we're in now, that means Nvidia and Apple shares will skyrocket. It'll be just like Apple and Microsoft back in the day. Same thing. Facebook and who for social media, right? Same thing. You always need two horses in the race to bring up everything. All right, let's see. I think I actually missed something here. Now, here we go. All right. There we go. Yep. And report at the end of the week. Exactly. Apple making own chips. Why? But why reinvent the wheel? Exactly. Well, here's the situation. Apple understands being able to hold their own. That's what the iPhone was. This is what their CD, this is what their music stuff was. They've always been, remember, Apple's a closed loop system. Remember, that's why they have people that love Apple products. So they're different than every other business because they have diehard fans of their products. So they can do different. So they can come out with a product. It doesn't even have to be good as Nvidia. All they have to do is be close, make it appear that they're as good. And they already have built-in market base. That's the difference with Apple than any other company that's out there on the market. Even Nvidia themselves, they have a fan base, just like AMD used to have a fan, well, still does, for their chips, for gaming and things like that. But Apple's a different beast altogether. They have fanatics, right? Nothing wrong with that. They have fanatics for Apple. So they know if they come out with the GPU, then everybody, all their Apple people are going to go, hey, man, we got to go get the latest Apple. Just like the MacBooks, just like anything Apple produces. People stand in line when it comes out. Like it's some sort of, Black Friday, overnight, crazy stuff. So, yeah, that's why they're going to do it, because they can always do standalone. And when they have $2 trillion market cap, they can throw billions to find out what's going to happen. So they can scale up. So they get to play in the game. And if they have a different incentive, because just what I was referring to about their customers, they know if they actually come up with something that's very good and it's AI, it will be in all of their products for their products. So it'll be another one of those booms for them, because then they can do different products that they're coming out with. And they'll say Apple, have the logo. And you know how fanatics are with the Apple logo. They're good enough to have their own stores in malls. I mean, this is crazy. Is there a Microsoft store somewhere? Is there a Facebook store? Is there an Nvidia store somewhere? I mean, seriously, think about it. Is there a Samsung store? Samsung's trying, but they're not successful like the Apple stores, which is remarkable around the world. So think about it. Everybody else is relegated to, oh, yeah, go down here to Walmart or go to one of these sell places where all the competition is displayed. Apple says, hold my beer. We have our own stores. It's only Apple up in here. And they're nice and minimalistic and all that. So you know where it's going, right? Apple about privacy versus Android, ChatGPT, open platform. Exactly. So that's why they're more willing to spend the money, because they have it. You know how much money these guys have offshore? You guys should look it up. Forget the stuff that's in America. They got the rest of the world like locked down damn near. It's crazy. All right, Curtis Davis. Oh, yeah, Apple has the VR headset similar to Meta. Exactly. So all this in the background, remember, just like Meta, all these guys in the background are like, man, this AI, we got something going on. Now we can finally use our little screens. And now think that the screens are just smaller now, sunglasses damn near, right? And and that's where it's going to get scary. Like the Wii, right? People are doing the Wii and messing up their house and stuff. This is where this could talk about people using their phone in their car, what happens when it's in their shades or something, or when it's on their windshield? I mean, this is going to get out of control. But this is all the more reason why it'll be a taxi situation. Your car is going to be driving itself. So you're not going to have to worry about it. This is where we're going. What was that movie? Get Your Ass to Mars. Get Your Ass to Mars with Schwarzenegger. Similar to Maida. All right. If Swifty Global keeps this up, I'm going to have to go back to Vistacana and pay your kids a visit. Exactly, man. Exactly. 30% in one day, and year to date, 285%, 3 times your money. That's pretty good in 6 months, in a 6-month period. So people, you have a new reason. Here are more assets to buy. Go check them out. I don't really know. They're in the gaming division. I don't know if they make software. I don't know exactly what they do, but that's why you have to do your homework. That's why we're here. We help you. Mo brought in his stock pick that he's been talking about for, like I say, 2 or 3 months. So you have an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, pennies. So you have no excuse. Over the counter. In fact, hold on a second. You know what? I just wanted to check something because I could have sworn Robinhood and Webull started doing over the counter stocks. I don't know if it'll do that, but nonetheless, I'm going to go look it up. Let's go see DRCR. Let's see what they have. Do they have that DRCR? No. So you might have to go to Fidelity. You might have to go to somewhere else. Let me see if Webull might have it. What the heck? Why aren't these side by side? Uh-oh. I've had some change up, I see. That's very interesting. It's not where it's supposed to be. Oh, here it is. All right, here we go. Let's see here. DRCR. DRCR. Yes, it exists on my watch list already. That's interesting. The stock is not supported for trading. All right. Well, there you go. You might have to go to Fidelity, Schwab to do over the counter. So just saying. But here it is. It's giving us the numbers. Let me do a 5 years. Yeah, very interesting. The stock price used to be a lot higher years ago, but the volume has picked up today. That's for sure. 29K. That's a little better. So there we go. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I got a situation. Didn't realize I pulled out my cord. Yes, still in the DR. All right, still in the DR, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to make some things happen. Oh, well, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say it. For all the people at Larimar, I was at the offices today. I didn't get in touch with the guys, but there's a message that's being relayed to them because, I said I won out, which is no big deal. I'm not nobody special. There's hundreds of people that invested in Larimar. But the thing is, this is real estate. In case people don't understand, this is a project called Larimar in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, pre-construction. 14 months from now is when everybody's first phase contract comes up. August 2025 is the last payment. So that's literally like a year and 2 months. And they have not started building anything. So clearly 15, 16-story buildings. They corrected me today and said, no, they're not 18 or 17 stories. I was like, is it? Okay, whatever. Doesn't really matter. If it's 15 stories or 16 stories, they are not building a floor a week. That's the only way. And 3 buildings. So that's not That's not going to happen. All right. So let's stop the nonsense. So I'm looking for something that would help everybody, even though for myself, I just, say I just want my money back. But everybody else who may want to stay, we want to have a reason to stay, right? What would be the reason to stay? And I'll just put it plain and simple. One of the reasons I would stay is if they said, yeah, you're right. This ain't going to be done for like another 24 months at least. Well, yeah, the math don't lie. In fact, it's not going to be done in 24 months either. We're talking about 15 floors. So in order for you to, you can just do a floor a month. That's not possible. All right, let's just call it what it is. That would be 15 months. That's not going to happen. So how long is it going to take you to do 15 floors? I don't know. But why wouldn't you give somebody the 2-year extension? Everybody would love their payments to go down to half. And people wouldn't even be upset. At least most people wouldn't be, because you get the appreciation and you have to wait a little bit. Well, if I like the 2 combinations, the way things are going now, 2-bedroom units are like $199,000, $200,000, $250,000 in some cases. So now, if somebody says wait an extra 24 months, I'd be happy. In fact, I would stay because that would make more sense to me. This other stuff about, building, 4 or 5 towers in 2 years, I'm not feeling that, because it's more than 3 buildings at that point. Now we're talking about 4, 5, 6 buildings due by December 2025. 6 buildings times 15. Now we're talking about 95. I'm sorry, that's not 95. 6 times 15. Is that 95? No, it is 95. So now we're talking about building 95 floors in 24 months. Okay. That's 3 floors a month. Finished. That's not how we build. You don't build finished product floor to floor. You have to build the grade, then you have to build the piping, the electricals. You got to do all the gray work and then add the infrastructure in the building. You can't just do a floor a month. It doesn't work. All right. But in this case, what I'm trying to say is 3 floors a month. That would be insane. I'd question your build quality if you're doing some stuff like that. That'd be insane. So even the 24 months, yeah, sure. 1, 2, 3 buildings, maybe. Doubtful. But nonetheless, it's a long conversation. It's a math problem. No way it can get done. All right, let's go. I left some things out. I'm going to wrap this up a little early tonight, but we'll see. You may have virtual work in metaverse. Yep. You can do construction plans in virtual world. The Nvidia GPU chips build in the physical. It's unlimited potential. Yes, exactly. I think the metaverse stuff is, I never understood it, but who knows if that actually ends up being something. Side note, saw our DR video today. What's this about some brokers having to go through other brokers to be able to sell in certain projects? In other words, you don't have direct access to the builder. Exactly. So basically, there's this thing about master brokers. So the master broker is directly dealing with the build developer. So then you have to sign up under the master broker, like at Zolia at Zabella Beach, at Moon Palace. The master broker is Rosa Rodriguez, who was running the beach in the early days. She's the master broker, so everybody has to sign up underneath her. So that's what's happening. So you have to contact her. She would contact the developer. Basically, it's kind of like you don't even need to talk with the developer. But the fact of the matter is, she's like a liaison. So yeah, that's always been a thing. But that's what that is. It's like a master broker, and master brokers generally aren't around that much anymore. But for whatever reason, some of the projects choose master brokers. It's not that many. It's only a few. So literally, like my company can sign up with almost anybody. But again, it doesn't change anything. I signed up under her as she's the master broker. It's just like being a developer. I just signed the contract with under her. So if any questions, you always send it directly to her, and then she goes and talks to the developer. That's how it works. So it's more, that's all. It's like the developer is out of the one-on-ones with everybody. So I guess it's your preference. But yeah, that's a thing. There was a lot more master brokers back in the day than there are now, because some of the projects finally realized, why do we have master brokers when we have all these people that want to sell our stuff? So we're actually minimizing in some cases, and in other cases, people say, well, we're not minimizing. So therefore, we want everybody to sell our stuff because we want to sell it fast, which is what Noval does. They rarely have a master broker. They just say, hey, all you guys who are brokers, here's the info. Go do it. And that's why their stuff sells out so fast. Quite frankly, that's one of the reasons. They have several, but that's one of their reasons. So that's what's going on. A.E. White, another superstar investor, is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he has that icon next to his name, which I greatly appreciate. And he says, I'm good with the 2 years extension on Larimar. A.E. White, I know it would be sweet if they did it. I don't know if they're going to do it, though. I really don't. But it would be awesome, right? If they did the right thing. Because I'm sitting there running mathematics again today, and it's actually worse. It's actually worse. We're talking like 3 buildings, first phase, 15 floors each. That's 45 floors in 14. Okay, we'll go to the end of the year and call it 18 months. Doesn't really matter. But 45, that means 2 floors plus on each building every month. It's not possible because you have electrical, you have plumbing. Now you have to build a foundation. You also have to put in elevators. You also are building on a cliff, which is unknown what's down below and the weights that's going to be able to handle. All this comes into play. And there's other stuff too, like part of the cliff is supposed to be built on and things like that, right? So this is astronomical. And so I want to tell everybody about Larimar. Okay, I won't talk about Larimar in particular. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the screen, all right? I'm just going to do this because I made a video about Ellen Icon in Athens. All right. And it's one of the top 3 projects in the world, right? In my opinion, it's my opinion. But I'm going to show this because I want you guys to understand things are not what they often appear to be. From first glance, you might be saying, okay, wake up. My computer's like, what the hell, Eric? It's not waking up. All right. So, but E. White, another investor in the house. Yeah, I'd be good too, man. I'd be hanging then because I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at all. What's happening here, man? I'm not getting my Ellen Icon love. Europe's greatest urban. Yeah, it's number 2 on my top 5 list. Oh man, look at this. You guys see this? This is sick right here. This is sick. This is so sick. Mo says, That's not going to be enough. Larry Martin needs to restructure people payment plans because they know it's not going to be ready. So we're talking about now further restructuring it. So then everybody's happy. And yeah, the payment, the price is obviously got to stay the same. But that will start getting them some new sales. The ballpark for what you wanted. Where all of a sudden they're going to be like 3 years, 4 years, and 190 grand. I mean, that's what you would be wanting, right? But yeah, that's what we're trying to do. It's the payment plan. We're not just trying to get the 2 years later. I just have a problem with sitting there telling people August is your last payment, knowing full well you're not going to finish anything for another 2-3 years. I mean, I just flat out said 2027 is what I flat out said. I mean, come on now. Before, we're just talking about the first phase, and maybe we're talking about 5-6 buildings. However you want to configure the 5 or 6 buildings, that's what I think it is. Because if you do 5 buildings times 15, all right, that's 75. That means you're building 2 floors a month to make that happen. Okay, maybe you can do magic, but that's 2 floors. I'm talking about complete. You're going to have the walls, everything done. Everything. Kitchens, the piping all through all floors for the kitchens, the bathrooms, the penthouses. I mean, this is serious. It takes a while to do this stuff. It's not like you can there's no stamp. It's not a 3D house or anything. So that's all I'm saying. The numbers doesn't make it possible. And while you're building those 5, let's say 5 units, 5 15-story buildings, now you're running into the problem of having the second and third phase come online, where now there's another building and another building. Next thing you know, you got 7 buildings to build in like 3 years. This is crazy. So the numbers don't make it happen. 105 floors in 3 years. Come on. You can't. That's not possible. You're doing now you're at 3 floors a month, fully done. That's not how you build. You're going to have to do your gray first, your structure first, your foundation, your structure. And then after that, then you're going to have to start putting in, where's the plumbing going? Where's the electrical? Like I was saying earlier. Here's Ellen Icon, ladies and gentlemen. One of my top, this is real estate investing right now. This is another asset that you can buy around the world. This is by the old Athens International Airport that shut down and they opened up a new one. This is what they're putting in its place. How sweet is this, right? You guys see it on the screen. How sweet is this? All this is Ellen Icon. These towers, Ellen Icon. Well, I don't know the names of them, but the towers, they have their own marina. Over here on the other side, they have their own villas. Villas are going to be on this side. But it's not just the beach. All of this is Ellen Icon. Here's a freeway, by the way. You've never been to Athens. This is the freeway right here. So it's separated. Look at these villas and condo buildings that's going to have ocean view. Look at this. Yes, it's going to have the sports complex. Yes, it's going to have the shopping. Yes, it's going to have the everything. Marina. Yes, it's going to have its own private beach area. These towers are for sale right now up front. The villas right here are for sale. They're going to have their own little section on the beach. Yes, yes, and yes. All right, it has its own mall. Yes, it has everything. And in fact, what's not shown here is one of the most important features. They're going to have their own subway stop. Well, I don't know if they're going to have the monorail or what they're going to be using, but this has its own station. So you can get anywhere in the city without having to leave this area. How sweet is that? I mean, spectacular, right? It's going to be spectacular and affordable right now. Look at this coastal front. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Look at this. And they figured out how to go. Oh, they're going over the freeway. These are some of the newer renderings. I love it. Look at this. Open park areas, lakes. This is what I'm saying. Some people would think this is going to cost like $500,000. No, it's well, I don't know what's happened over the last year, but the prices were affordable. Look at this. Shopping, mall, of course. You have all these people that's going to live there. Look at this. The marina. Oh, this is on the marina side. There's the tower. Those are condos. There's villas. There's shopping. There's fitness. There's gaming. Look at this. Ellen Icon Mall. Oh, this is sweet. We haven't checked this out in a while. This is sick. Whoever's designing this is pretty cool. Retail park. Yeah, this is the villas. They're off the charts. These are pricey, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to come up with mills. You're going to have to come up with mills. No way around it. Yeah, look at spectacular. Green as well. They're trying to keep it green. So they now have they're showing more. Oh, and progress. Right. Yeah, they're actually doing something. I like this. This wasn't here before to go over the highway. So I'm glad they did that. That's pretty sweet. Okay. So let's just go here. They've already started. This is rolling. This is on, you can find it on YouTube. This is rolling. I'm going to play a little bit of it. Check this out. This is happening. This is going down. This is what they're doing already. This is going down, ladies and gentlemen. It's going down. In fact, this is so special. Like I said, it's going down. Watch the video progress. May 2024. All right. There you go. See? That's what we're saying. Look. See? This is what we should be doing, right? This is what's happening. So remember, this used to be an airport. Part of the airport, not all of it, but part of it. So they had to clear the airport, runways, all that to get to this part. And as you can see, that looks like work to me. This looks like work to me. I don't know about you guys, but this looks like work. And this looks like the work that I like to see. See how they have automation? See how they have automation. And actually, they're doing the new, well, not new, but they're doing the style that I like. Because what they're going to do is, in fact, you saw how they, oh yeah, the cranes are there. So see how they laid down each floor? This allows them to just drop the cement concrete in there without them having to do the columns, like how they do in the DR. So these guys are going to drop the cement and it goes a lot faster, but it still does not knock your timeline down to where you're going to be able to do, oh yeah, we'll just do 2 floors every 3 months. That ain't going to happen. Come on. They still have to do the right thing. It's a structure. But look, they got automation like it's supposed to be. Like it's supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to do. All right. I just like seeing stuff done. See, this is what I'm saying. This is done. All right. That's Riviera Tower. Let's see what else we got. This is one of my favorite projects. This is one of the top 3 in the world. Just letting you guys know. So I get excited about when people do something that's out, not to mention green. And there is a video, Ellen Icon. I made a video. TRX is the other one. And Ben Larimar could be in the same ilk as these guys. So we will continue to talk, but just had to let you guys see. It's sick. It's sick. It's sick. In fact, I won't even get into their smart city stuff. Speaking of AI, this is what we're dealing with here. First of all, hold on. Let me do this. Let me show you guys something. Look at this. See this? This is crazy. See, this right here is what I was referring to. You already have the home. You already have the tablet. But why have the tablet in the first place? When your voice, when your eye, when your facial recognition is outside or whatever, and you're just gonna, and you have the secure link in your ear or on your wrist, and it's like, why are we pressing buttons? You're just gonna tell it, hey, cut on the lights in the bedroom 3 or the kids' bedroom, whatever, master bedroom, or now as they say, primary bedroom. That's all that's going to happen. I mean, you're going to say, okay, I'm going downstairs, cut the lights on in the kitchen. I'm getting something to eat right now. It's midnight. That's all that's going to happen. You're not going to pick up your tablet. But nonetheless, since we're talking about AI, that's where we're going. All right. So I just love this project. And by the way, I challenge anybody to find any projects better, because I want to add another project to the list besides TRX and Ellen Icon. Mo Better, Eric Swiftly plans to uplist to a big board major exchange this year. The company has been around roughly 3 years. Okay. Yeah. Some of you know that I've made a video about a company which was Boogie Gopher Club that claimed they were going to do their Mediterra and go to NASDAQ or go to whatever. It doesn't matter. Dow Jones, S&P making those statements. So just so everybody understands, you can Google, even Mo, if you're doing research, which is what I'd be doing too, they do make revenue, but there's numbers in order to get on the other exchange, like let's say US market, you have to have a certain number, and your stock has to be held by a certain percentage outside of the company. In the other words, open market. You have to have, I can't remember numbers, but it's like one of the exchanges, I think it was NASDAQ, I think it was 75 million annually for the last 2 or 3 years. I can't remember the exact numbers. And then others, it was like 100 million. And one of the key things is your stock has to be over a certain number. It has to be like $2 or $1 or $4 for like a year or two. There's these little parameters, and it does cost money also. So all these things, yes, a company could say they want to get on S&P 500, Dow, and all that. In fact, here, I'll just do it like this. OTC to NASDAQ requirements, for instance, since we're talking about over the counter. So I'll just pull it up so everybody can just see. I mean, it's just standard. It's not like, anything crazy. Here we go. At least 100 shares, 550 shareholders, cash flow of at least 27.5 million in the last 3 fiscal years, aggregate pre-tax earnings in the prior 3 years of at least 11 million. So this is some of the parameters that they have. So a lot of companies could fall into this. Now they do have, well, that's just part of it, but they do have where your stock has to be a certain number, like you have to list it. So even though they're under $1 right now on NASDAQ, I think it's $4, if I'm not mistaken. So you would have to do, like, the stock has to be up to $4. And if you do fall under $1, then you get a warning, or a certain, it's under $1. So if you get a certain warning from the exchange, so it's not for the faint at heart, because it costs you millions to get listed. So just letting you know, like, in fact, here goes uplisting to a national exchange, and it doesn't matter which one. They're all different. I put in NASDAQ because it was pretty easy. NASDAQ's one of the easier ones, in my opinion. Yeah, they don't have a list, but nonetheless, it's possible. And I think that company already meets like the NASDAQ requirement. They just might not meet the $4, or I think it's $4, like I said. Might not meet that right now, but I think they meet the revenue numbers. And I don't know how many people hold their shares, but there seemed like they had a volume of 29,000. So that meets the, if it's 550 still, that meets that. So again, and it also depends on a certain percentage as well. So I think it might meet some of those for 2 or 3 years. So they would be poised to be able to do, yeah, like the company has been around roughly 3 years. So yeah, that they might have the 2-year or 3-year numbers that they need. I buy some every week, and I've been buying since 04 cents. Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Moomoo, just to name a few brokers that have it. There we go. Fidelity, Charles Schwab, exactly. Those are the ones you need to know. Everybody, actually, I would just say everybody should have Fidelity, Charles Schwab. Anyhow, you should have a brokerage account there. Those are valuable. All right. Victor Marrero, yes, that's what they said, master broker. So how the hell can you be a master broker, have the right to networking? Sounds like another layer of fees to me. As the investor, you have to pay both? No, Victor Marrero, you don't. There's nothing. You don't have to. If somebody's saying that, that's not how it works. So basically what happens is the master broker is just, it's a layer to where you go to the master broker directly instead of having the developer themselves go, we'd rather have a master broker. So then the master broker comes to us with questions and we give them an answer. They tell everybody, all the other brokers, versus like I can only use Noval, for instance, is like one. Noval works a little different. They don't have like master brokers, but what they do have is they have in-house personnel that is a sales team already that gets a salary, and they like assign you to somebody, which again, they do the presentation. So if I wanted to do a Zoom call for or a live stream for Atlanta or River Island, which by the way, they're pricey. They went up. I mean, you know, it is what it is. But Atlanta is going to be off the charts. That's all I can say. But the point I'm trying to make is the difference between the master broker and what Noval does. Noval assigns me, like Julia works with me and other brokers. So we just hit her up. She sends us the message back. The other way, where you're a master broker like Rosa is for at Zabella Beach, the Moon Palace, all the brokers are underneath her. So if you have a question, you just send her a question. Then she sends each broker the information back, and the developer just kicks back. So you can do it 2 ways, or you can do it the third way, where everybody reports to the developer. And now the developer has to have a team in-house that's able to field all the questions from all the brokers. There could be 50 brokers. There could be 60. Plus, the brokers have realtors or agents that work with them. So now you have all these questions that's coming through. So it all depends on how you want to handle it. So don't worry about the master broker. You're not paying them anything. What it is it has nothing to do with you. You know, as a buyer, you don't pay any extra. As a broker, you don't pay any extra either, except a lot of agreements will get 1%, let's say, because you actually told them about, hey, go buy something at Atlanta. And then, Noval doesn't do this, but I'm just saying, a lot of places, you love Atlanta, but you just tell the person, okay, here's the brochure, here's that. And then you go and send them to, like, I send them directly to Julia, right? Even though in her case, like I said, Noval is different. But in most cases, they was having the contract 1%. Because all I did was I told them about it. I did the brochure. I gave them the price list. We talked. And after that, I just said, go talk to her. a lot of places, like if I did that, well, I'm trying to think who would get 1%, but there's got to be a contract I signed where it was 1%. In fact, I was looking at one with Immobiliare, which Gennaro, and they do the 1%. So their contract is just talk to them, then I send them over, and let's just say they talk with Gwen, right? So I'd have to give up 1% of my broker commission because they actually had the person do everything, sign the contract, send the money, write up the contract. They did almost the bulk of everything. So they're going to get 1%. So, but it doesn't come out of the buyer's money. It just comes out of the commission that the broker is going to receive, the realtor is going to receive, whatever the arrangement is, it's the same. So if you're going to buy something for $200,000, you bought it for $200,000. You have nothing to do with commission structure or anything. There's no additional fees for the buyer. All right, so it's that simple. All right, E. White, he says, I would have been highly upset if I had purchased the lot on the golf. Oh man, I was saying that also. I was saying the exact. I was like, hold on, man. Remember they said 1 year. What was it? 1 year. So you can't even do anything out there. That's crazy. I know it was 105,000. Not much traction on that, which didn't. It was what it is. 105,000 was not cheap. And there was no advantage. I mean, you were just going to be on a golf course. It wasn't like you're going to have ocean view or something. So for me, it was just like, okay, you're going to be on the golf course. It's cool. But for me, I'm like, I need more than that. So anyhow, that's a whole nother story. There may be some new renderings. Just saying. There might be some new renderings. There might be some new renderings for the golf course. Come on now. Why are you going to have a golf course on the top of a mountain and not have ocean views? That should tell you all you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying. Yes, that's the nation. All right. But that's exactly one of the points. The golf course, not even going to be done for 2 years, minimum. So it isn't going to be done next year. It's not going to. The 9 holes will not be built in 14 to 18 months. Not going to happen. You can't build golf courses that fast, even with you breaking out your own sod. You have to build the holes. You have to build the terrain. There's a lot more to it. You have to bring in so much dirt and sand, and geez, it's crazy. And you got to make it cool. So that's the other thing. It's not like you can just, oh yeah, we'll make a golf course, 9 holes in 18 months. Sure. It's not how it works. All right. Nobody would sign up for that. Nobody. Yeah, I'd be pissed too, because they said at one time that imagine buying it a year ago and then thinking you're going to build something, but they're like, oh, we don't have title. We can't build anything right now. I mean, come on. That's all that's going to happen. Victor, I'm guessing they're using the words master broker and DR similar to listing agent in the United States. Just means you get a specific size cut of the commissions no matter what. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The master broker they have here, the master broker has an agreement with the developer and they get a piece, but it's still, I'll just tell you guys, most of the guys now are 5 or 6%. That's it. So even with the master broker, you're going to get 5 or 6%. Doesn't matter. The master broker has their own agreement here. So whatever their agreements are, like, okay, I'll give you a little insight. When Rosa was the master broker for the beach, she has a separate contract where her contract was based. She get paid based on how many units were sold per month over a range. So it was like this quota system. It had nothing to do with a percentage of the sale of the deal, so to speak. She had a quota that if you reach X amount, you get paid X amount, and this is how much you get every month. All right. I'm privy to a little bit of the contract. So just saying. I don't know the full contract though, but I knew some parts of it. All right, Mo Better at Victor, whether you sold the unit yourself or another agent from another realty sold it. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Mo Better, maybe. I'll be curious to find out the fee for the master broker. No, there's no fee. It's not a fee. The master broker gets a percentage of sales. They have a special deal. It has, so in other words, if everybody gets, let's say, 5% as a broker, all right, the master broker, they have a different deal altogether. It's not based on sales. I mean, individual sales. It is based on an overall contract. They say this is what our contract says. So it has no bearing on the buyer. You're not paying extra or anything. Nobody's paying extra. The brokers like myself, we're still getting our percentage, and then the master broker has their own special deal, whether it's $20,000 a month, whether it's $20,000 a month, you got to do 20 sales a month, or whatever their criteria is. All right. Because at the beach, they had somewhat these criterias. You have to do, like, in year one, we need you to sell, I don't remember the number, but let's just say it was 100 units. That'd be like 10 units a month. And then in year two, we need like 60% of the complex sold. It was it's something along these lines. And then you get paid monthly. It has nothing to do with anything. You're getting paid regardless. So the master broker thing isn't, in fact, the master broker thing isn't even really a thing over here that much anymore, because like I said, there's no reason when you have all these real estate agents, real estate companies, there's no reason to have a master broker. You should just set it up where you have your own sales team in-house, and then you can sign up as many brokers as you want and then just give them their percentage. Because if you have 100 brokers marketing your product, all you need is just one sale a month from each one. That's 100 units sold in a month. Most people will live with 100 units sold in a month. So there's not that many projects that sell like 1,000 units other than Noval, because they can't. But most people are selling 200 units here, 50 units there, 100 units there. There's rarely somebody doing 1,000. Oasis Bay by Vivantia doesn't have 1,000 units, but the Noval project that's going to come out the end of this month over at Conner Rock, that's going to be pre-construction, that's going to have 1,000 units. 1,000. So it wouldn't make sense for them to have a master broker. It's better for them to go, hey, everybody, check it out, and then work with our person that's assigned to you. Do your calls, do whatever you want to do, get your info from them, and they employ the people in-house. So that makes more sense to them. And it makes great sense if you're selling large amounts of units. So you don't have to worry about that. There's no, you want to find out how much they get paid, that's going to be hard. I might be able to find out, like I said, because me and Rosa have a pretty good rapport, so she might tell me, but I don't really want to ask her. Is that the new project coming next to Moon Palace, the tower you can see from the Hard Rock Resort? Damn, that's sick. Yeah, Victor Marrero. No, it's Solia. The tower you see is Solia at Zabella Beach, which is beside Moon Palace. And I was showing the other day the price points at Solia. It's already escalated. Congratulations to whoever was able to find out about this whenever it came out, because this is why I got excited when I found out. Let me see. I got some new stuff. Let me see. She sent me a new price list because they're selling like hotcakes. It's crazy. It's selling like hotcakes. Unit Solia Palms, 4th floor, unit 1, sold. But this is selling like hotcakes. It's out of control. I'll just let you guys see. It's crazy. Look at this. This is what happened over the weekend. Look at this. Solia Tower, fourth floor, 239. 3 units sold over the weekend. Gone. Here's the June 6th. Here's the June 10th sales. This is just in the last 4 days. Look at this. This is all yellow damn near. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is all that's left in Tower 1. And here's the prices. Let me give you guys, okay, first of all ocean views are sold. They have golf view, pool view, garden view. Okay, so once again, they've already set it up. You guys know assets. What's more valuable? Golf view, pool view, garden view. So now you know, you should know, garden view is going to be the least expensive. Then it's going to be a toss-up between pool view and golf view. Depends on what's more valuable to the individual. But for me, it's almost the same. We're going to go see how far off I am because I haven't looked at the prices. But here we will see garden view reserved because they're cheaper. But here we are, garden view, if you can see it, 229. And those are 66 square meters, 1 bedrooms. The 2-bedroom garden view is $383,000. That's on the first floor, though. So they have a terrace. They have a green, 500 square feet of green. So that's why those are more expensive. Pool view, $213 for a 1-bedroom, $229 for a 1-bedroom, $362 for a 2-bedroom. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is getting out of control, right? But it's at Moon Palace. See the 2-bedroom pool views, 300 and some odd, 232 for a 1-bedroom. This is where it's headed, ladies and gentlemen. And when the price points change like this, this is getting to be where the wealthy win. The wealthy win. Looks like work, Curtis Davis. Yep. Exactly. Riviera Tower looking good from sight and rendered videos. Exactly. That is over at Ellen Icon. The rules are different when you are doing a reverse merger. Exactly. If they do a reverse merge, okay, look. Yeah, you can do a reverse merger. That is how they do it. This is what Boogie Gopher Club did. They never lifted off ground, but they're not Boogie Gopher Club. They're not in crypto. They're not having nothing to do with this. The other guys are in another field, though. If I understand into gaming, that's another area that, you know, the markets really don't like. We had 2 companies, Penn and I can't remember. They merged ultimately after 4 years because in the U.S., they wanted to be U.S. companies. So their licensing required them to go to New York, go to Pennsylvania, go to New Jersey, go to Washington, go to California. All those hurdles, it cost a lot of money. Get approved by New York alone, it was crazy. So all this comes into play. Have to go to Nevada. You have to go. I mean, it just, in America, it's hard to get that licensing, but we're the ones that gamble the most. That's why offshore, they had to block offshore gambling or online poker rooms, for instance, because millions of dollars were going offshore. So they said, we'll just block it because we can't do anything about it. So we'll block it. So that's the kind of thing and thinking that's going on. That's why if you're in the gaming, into crypto, trying to get into the United States market is very, very hard. So just saying. So they're going to, yeah, you can do a reverse merger. And what you'll do is you'll buy a shell corp. I don't even want to say this because this is there. You can buy a shell corporation that's already in existence, do a reverse merger. But if you do a reverse merger like that, then they're probably smarter than a lot of other. They're probably going to employ the appropriate lawyers. But generally, you may be at the mercy of that reverse merger, however you do it. Is if you put it into that other company's name, then that other company is the one that's been already with the SEC. So then you may not qualify because you won't have the ranking for the last 2 or 3 years. Revenues will be on the other company. You won't be able to transfer it over. So there's a lot more to it when people talk like that. But hey, maybe they'll have the right lawyers and do the right thing. They won't buy a freaking shell cord. They'll actually buy another company that actually makes the money so they can already qualify without having to wait 2 or 3 years. So we'll see. But that's how you do it, though. That's right. When they do the reverse, they would meet the minimum. Yeah, it all depends, like I said. Like Boogie Gopher Club, for instance, they did a reverse merger to the shell company. But the problem is when they did a reverse merger to the shell company is the name, Mediterra. Mediterra doesn't have 3 years worth of revenues, doesn't have open shareholders for whatever exchange they were going on. So they couldn't qualify. It was ridiculous. They thought they were just going to be like, oh, yeah, they're already on the stock market. We're already good. No, they were already a penny stock. So the problem is you're under the qualifications and they didn't have the revenue in the first place because it was a shell company. So like I said, there's ways to do it. But again, and even if you do it, if you're in the gaming, you're going to still have to license on each state. So it's weird, right? In fact, you know how you, just so you know, I'm no expert, but what was that? Pin Gaming. Yeah, it's Pin. Yeah, Pin Gaming stock. All right. So let me go show you. This is what I'm referring to. This is already played out. And it's been a long road. So here it is. And I'm pretty sure you'll be like, hell yeah, I'll take the 7C. But PIN actually is approved for United States. They actually already did the work, right? PIN National Gaming, American Operator Integrated, but 43 properties in 20 states. See, they're not all in. See, this is what I'm referring to. They can't do 50 states. They have to get approved on each state level. Well, yeah, you have to get approved each state level. So this is where they went. And then I think they merged, didn't they? Score Media, and they merged with somebody else. But this is what they're going to have to deal with when they come to the U.S. And that's why a lot of companies stay outside of the U.S. because of this, because they can get approval in the whole country in the EU. Each country in the EU not have to deal with each province, which is pretty wild for the United States. And the United States actually wants to block it. But this is where the most valuable customer base is for money. And they know that. Let me see. PIN merged with, what was that other company? PIN Gaming merged with which company? Let's go. Here we go. It was, okay. It wasn't Score, though. So they changed their name, too. So Score used to be another name. I can't remember the name of the company, though. Formerly PIN National Gaming is now PIN Entertainment, of course. Acquisition of Score. So now that's the top two companies. Completes acquisition of Pinnacle. This is all they had to do. They had to keep, and their stock is still at $17, which now, if you started out at pennies, it'd be great. But nonetheless, just giving you a little heads up on they can say whatever they want to say, but coming to the U.S. is a whole different ball game. And if you're not in the U.S., then you don't have the sales in other countries unless you're getting part of the EU, Australian, and some Asian markets, maybe. I don't know their markets, but that's a whole nother day to check it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up tonight because I got some other disturbing news and other disturbing matters. That's a friend of mine and I'm involved with, and I got to go find out. I don't know how I'm going to be able to help them. But anyhow, man, that's why I'm a little down on this live stream a little bit. But nonetheless, stay tuned, all you Larimar people. Hopefully, I'm still here. I think I was down at the office today, but the guys weren't there, or they were somewhere else in the building. They expanded at their Aqua Business Center. So maybe there'll be some movement on a few things. But stay tuned. Don't miss our Wednesday night live stream. I love you guys very much. But just keep in mind, please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And also keep in mind this Nvidia split today. Stay vigilant. Anything can happen. If you can get a dollar cost average below 121, 122, then you should be taking it. If it goes up, then you should be happy too. But either way, any fluctuations of $3 or $4, you should be trying to jump in. And you can set it up under Webull, under most brokerages account. You can put a stop. You can put a buy in at a certain number, just like you can put a sell in at a certain number. So if you want to buy at a lower number, you can put something in for 60 days and go, hey, if it drops to 115, I want to buy. If it drops to 117, I want to buy. You can do that. All right. So just keep all that in mind. Don't worry. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you tell your friends to come back on Wednesday night. But on Wednesday night, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. Everybody can watch. Everybody can listen. But only members with the icon can be in the chat room on Wednesday nights. And then Friday night, it's open to everyone once again, just like Monday and any other live stream. So once again, it's been very nice this evening that I've been here with you. I appreciate it. And just remember, it's going to be very hard over the next 3 years. It's already hard out here. But over the next 3 years, it's about to get harder. Not because of anything anybody's going to do. It's a mathematical equation. If you had $100 million and you invested in assets, meaning businesses, meaning real estate, and the Federal Reserve reduces the interest rates, and now instead of me having to get a 5% or 6% interest, all of a sudden I can get a 3% or 2.5% interest only. I have now unlocked my 100 million worth of assets, because now whatever I have equity in, I can borrow at 2%. But what if my equity was 15 million? 15 million at 2% interest only for 10 years? In contrast, let's just say you're like a normal person and have $200,000 of assets, and you're not going to be able to get that same 2.5 or 3% interest for 10 years, interest only loan for 10 years. You're going to be looking like, hey, man, can I get some, what kind of loan can I get for this? And they're just going to sit there and say, well, the going rate's 4.5 and you got to put down 25% and all this stuff. And meanwhile, the thing that you're going to buy, your asset's only going to go up over the next 3 years. Let's just say you doubled it. That's 200,000. The guy that was able to borrow 15 million interest only for 10 to 15 years, he has $15 million. If he doubles it, that's 30. 200,000, 30. They stay way ahead of you, way ahead of ordinary citizens, the OCs. So this is why the next thing is going to wipe out the upper middle class, because even if you have a lot of stuff, the guys that are making or have be able to have access to tens of millions of dollars, proportionately, they hold most of the wealth already. So proportionately, they're going to be able to get more wealth. There, you can't stop the snowball. It's already happening. So that's why you have to just get assets, whether it's equities, whether it's real estate, whether it's businesses. You have to get as much as you can get, because money is going to dry up for the OCs, ordinary citizens. That's us. All right. So you're going to need assets around the world. So get on board, ladies and gentlemen, no matter, at all costs. And that's it. Come back and join us another day, and I appreciate it. But make sure you stay safe out here, because you know a lot of people are under stress. You know that for a fact. So you can't join in the party. Somebody acts weird. Somebody acts crazy. Everybody wants to be confrontational right now, but maybe it's best to just try to defuse the situation or walk off, because trying to get in confrontation with people that are under stress and duress and feel like they have nothing to lose, you don't want to be in that situation. So make sure you stay safe out here. Keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.